we can get started.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone to this month's community call. Excited to go through some things. We have some great updates and things that we want to put out here to you, and feel free to comment in the chat if you have any questions or comments. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, can everyone see my screen? Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so some updates from Interledger. We have several blogs that are out for everyone to read. You can check out and learn more about the case of digital currencies and unlocking a future for interoperable digital financial systems. Also, we have the life cycle of an Interledger packet, which is a great read, to get more in-depth information and just, where we are from introduction into where we are currently. And also it links to Stefan's talk from the summit from this past year, discussion about packetization. And then we also have a new Future Money podcast episode that is out. Definitely want to check those out. If you have not seen any of the previous Future Money podcast episodes, feel free to check those out as well. We have some, great insights and information about Interledger Foundation, also with some of our partners, voices that are on the Future Money podcast. And we also have our grant, the Next Gen Higher Education grant that's now open. And if Julaire or Chris want to talk a little bit more about that, if you could, come off mute.
Yeah, I'm happy. This is very similar to last year. It's looking for universities to begin to experiment, plan, build programs along with ILF on their campus. All the details are in that link. This would be great to spread around to folks that you might know. The initial ask is pretty low bar. It really is just a letter of interest or letter of intent. It's basically 3 paragraphs, and then that gets reviewed and you get invited or not to do the full proposal. So if that is something that you are interested in or know of universities or professors, go ahead and send that along or reach out to someone on the program team. But everything you need is in that link. And should go from there. That should be open the majority of the year. So if you have any questions or comments, please let either Julaire or myself or somebody on the program team know, and we can get you some more information.
Perfect. Thank you. Also, upcoming events that we have in Interledger. So this coming weekend, we have some of our team that will be participating as judges and mentors for the Hackomania that is hosted by Geeks Hacking, that's in Singapore. And so if you are going to be in Singapore, there's still time to register. And if you've already registered for it to be a participant, we will have more information coming out about that and Slack channel. And I know we have one person that has some questions about that. So we will be sure to get to your answer, to respond to you about that for the Open Payments API. And also London Web Standards. So this month's meetup, PPK will be available and he will be speaking at that event. So if you are in the area in London and would like to attend, feel free to go online and sign up for that. And then our next Off the Ledger will be next week. We look forward to those. I hope everyone, if you've seen it already, that you're enjoying those conversations with Ioana and Alex, and also some of the members of the tech team for the different episodes. And so we will have more information that will come out about Off the Ledger and letting you know exactly the date and time for that. And then RightsCon, we have some of our team that will be attending this year. So if you are interested in RightsCon, there's the link as well in the public notes document where you can find more information available for that event. And for our web monetization updates, Bibi, if you would like to come unmute.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna keep my camera off as I'm not feeling too well this week, so I do apologize for that. So for the web monetization, as probably most people on this call know, we've been working on the extension. We are literally working on the last few sprints before our public beta release. So watch this space when we do the announcement for that. And in the meanwhile, we do have the latest version was published, I believe, a week ago. So it's like in between an alpha and a beta release. We are looking for feedback on that and for the community to test it. I will drop some links on the chat here. So please do test and please let us know if you find any issues and your overall feedback. The extension is currently available on the Chrome Store, Firefox, and Edge. Alongside with the extension, we are also working on a set of tools for publishers so they can promote web monetization on their websites and they can encourage their users to support them. So that's also an alpha release, and the next milestone would be a beta release shortly, hopefully. As well as that, we are in the middle of updating the documentation. Obviously, as we are improving and making changes to the extension, that requires updates to the documentation as well. And also as more wallets are web monetization compatible. So we are trying to provide as much details as possible on the documentation. So the new documentation also will be available when the beta release of the extension is going to be available. So yeah, so that's that on the web monetization front. The call to action is please test, and give us your feedback, whether on GitHub, on Slack, or we also have the smaller web monetization community call that is open to everyone, so you're welcome to join us.
Thank you, Bibi. And next we'll have Fernando to discuss about my Wallet Guru updates.
Yeah, hi. Excited to share a quick update on the Wallet Guru prototype and the progress we've made in bringing ILPs streaming payments to the on-demand economy. Wallet Guru is developing an ILP-based payment platform that enables consumers to pay for services in real time. We've chosen to focus on Interledger's payment streaming capabilities, arguably, in our opinion, one of its most distinctive advantages over traditional payment methods to address a real-world problem. Our tech stack tackles the growing issue of subscription fatigue, where consumers are burdened by an ever-increasing number of required subscriptions. Instead of committing to fixed plans, users will have the flexibility to pay as they go for services such as streaming, video streaming, broadband internet, paid TV, mobile coverage, among others. We designed our platform with scalability at its core, ensuring seamless performance even during peak usage hours. Thus, we will be capable of supporting millions of concurrent users, delivering a frictionless and efficient payment experience. As a project update, we have successfully completed our 10-sprint development process with a dedicated 14-person team, contributing over 14,000 man-hours to the project. Both the backend and wallets have been fully developed for iOS and Android, marking a major milestone in our project. We are very excited to announce our first partnership with Sabbatical Entertainment, a leading content creator and distributor, as they launch their first streaming platform, Savvy, in collaboration with Wallet Guru. Savvy is a groundbreaking streaming service that introduces a pay-as-you-go payment model powered by our payment platform and the Interledger protocol. This partnership establishes Savvy as our first client, demonstrating the real-world applicability and scalability of streaming payments. Integration with Savvy has been successfully completed, and the production environment is now fully deployed. Our next step include finalizing the debugging process, completing all necessary documentation, and publishing the open source code on GitHub. Once debugging is fully complete, we will be hosting a deep dive and live demo during an upcoming community call. That's all for our update, and stay tuned for details. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we also have some Rafiki updates that you can read about on the blog, the post in the community, in the community space. And we have a link here that you can check out the information about our Rafiki updates. This month, we don't have any updates on open payment, so stay tuned for that. And let's see if we have Adrian on the call from FinBoss, if you would like to give any updates. Let's see. Okay. All right, nope. So we'll go ahead and transition into our deeper look into the integration, the Interledger integration at Chimoney. So if we have Chimoney on here, if you want to go ahead and give us a little bit more information and updates on that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. We had a presentation. Vinil, can you kindly help us share when it ever? Okay, awesome.
I just give access, yeah.
Okay. So this is a deep dive into our integration with the Interledger so far. Let me present. And so this is the Chimoney team. We have Hamed Babatunde, the head of operations, on the call. We have Fahid, head of product, and we have Uchi, who is our founder and CEO, for those who don't know him. And my name is Phyllis. I am the marketing and development manager at Chimoney. So in the first phase of our integration with Interledger, our goals were to integrate Interledger to enable the issuance of payment pointers in the Chimoney ecosystem. And this was a success, and we were able to perform real transactions on the Chimoney via the Chimoney API. And during the phase 2, we had two main goals, that is to make all of the Chimoney wallets Interledger enabled, that is including the Chimoney multi-currency wallets, and also to launch the Chimoney mobile app with integration with web monetization and open payments. So during this presentation, we're going to take you through how we did this in a deeper detail. And we're going to ask for feedback at the end. So the key achievements that we were able to get from this phase 2 of our integration were we successfully updated to the new Rafiki version and also deployed it to production environment. We also enabled businesses to issue payment pointers via our API and integrated it into our checkout flow, including Interledger as one of the payment methods during the checkout process. And finally, we also enabled web monetization extension support. So as I said earlier on, we currently use the updated Rafiki version, and The images you see are how the underlying architecture worked. And in the next screen, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do a demo on how the checkout process actually works with the integration of the architecture I showed in the previous screen. So going into the demo, I'm going to show you how we achieved our Chimoney API. And so we have initiate a payment request endpoint, and this is the endpoint that allows you to, that takes you to the checkout process that you're able to select Interledger as a payment. Is there a question?
Yes, please. I'm not sure you're sharing your screen. We can only see the presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Fahid. Apologies for that. So this is the Chimoney API docs, and I'm on the testing environment. So in order to achieve, in order to take us to the checkout page, where I'm going to show you how we integrated with Interledger, I'm going to use the sandbox environment. So we enter the value that we want to collect and the payer email. So in this case, I've used $5 and my Chimoney email. And I have included my API key too, and I'm making sure that I'm running on Sandbox. So when we try this, we are supposed to be on a real environment. This is supposed to automatically take the user to the, redirect the user to the payment link where they now fulfill the transaction. So this is the link that I want to copy to my browser. And this should take us to the complete payment page, where, as you can see, we originally had the card, crypto, and Chimoney payment option. And with our integration with Interledger, we included the Interledger option now. So someone is able to complete this payment via their Interledger wallet, which is included in the Chimoney ecosystem. So when I choose Interledger, I am prompted to enter my Interledger wallet address. So I will go to my sandbox. So this is my sandbox account on Chimoney, and this is my Interledger payment pointer. So I copy this. And when I go back to the complete payment screen, when I enter this and click pay now, it should automatically redirect me to the consent screen. Sorry, it first needs you to log in for security reason to confirm that the person who is initiating this is actually the correct person. So I'll sign in with the correct account. And so this should redirect me to the consent screen, and I click accept. And my wallet should be debited, and I should receive a confirmation that I have, because I used my email, I should receive a confirmation that I have received $5. So I'm just gonna show you the confirmation via email. Okay. I think that's the wrong email. Sorry, let me share the right email. So this is the right email. As you can see, it says 723. So I have received $5 and it's instant. So that is the demo on how we have actually integrated Interledger to allow seamless payments in e-commerce, checkouts, or other scenarios where checkouts are required. And I'll hand it over to Fahid to talk more about the Chimoney app.
Thank you, Phyllis. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So I will be sharing my mobile screen to demo the Chimoney app, and we are really excited about this one because it took lots of time, energy, and a bit of a learning curve for the product team. So yeah, shout out to Bio, Favor, and every other person in the product team that worked on this, media as well. Yeah, so I'll share my screen now and just take you guys through a couple of things that we have going on there. My screen should be up right about now. Can somebody confirm if they can see my screen? Okay, so awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so this is my Chimoney app dashboard, or wallet rather, and you can see a couple of things. You can see options like wallet funding, global transfer, and bank cash out. I also have wallets in USD, CAD, and NGN. In case if you're wondering why I have 2 USD wallets, it's because I'm a developer and I have to tinker around with things a bit. And yeah, to show you the Interledger side of things, right? I will go to the accounts page, and as you can see, we have Interledger wallet address. So what we've done is for every user that gets KYC'd on the app, they automatically get a payment pointer assigned to them specifically. So this is my payment pointer, and I can copy it and probably send to myself on Slack just to show you that. And here we go, and it's pasted, and I can send it. So this allows me to share with anybody anywhere. And observe that we're seeing HTTPS, and that's because it's on Slack. For some reason, Slack formats it that way. So that issue gave birth to another solution because we realized that there are certain apps that seem to format the HTTP as part of the payment pointer. And in order to avoid that, we decided to work on QR codes. So this allows you to share your payment pointer with anybody, anywhere. As you can see, we have 2 options. You can either share your username or your Interledger wallet address. To demo how this works, we'll be doing an actual open payment transfer within the app. So I would be scanning Phyllis's QR code, which she has shared to me on Slack about 30 minutes ago. So we have this in-app scanner that allows users to basically share their payment pointers. And as you can see, it's been pre-filled in the recipient information side of things. You can see that recipient details, it's Phyllis's payment pointer. And I can just decide, because I'm a generous person, I'll send her $1. And we see, review the payment. And as you can see, her payment pointer is the recipient. And I just confirm the payment, and let's use biometrics this time. Swipe that. Okay, there we go. And in no more than 30 seconds, she should be getting the payment and should be going through. So let's just have a bit of a countdown. So, okay, that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I know it's good. Okay, awesome. So yeah, Phyllis, can you confirm if you have gotten the payment on your end? Because it's been sent.
Yes,
And yeah, my wallet balance has reduced already from 22 to 21. Yeah, and if I were to go here, you can see that I sent the money to Phyllis and it's been paid to our wallet. What this allows us to do basically is connect Interledger to local payment rails. And what that means is that on the app, we have other payment options. For example, you can transfer to email address or phone number, and these payments can actually be redeemed in 130 countries in the world. And another thing we've looked to do is kind of like connect with local payment rails directly. And how we're doing that is through bank cash out. We have Interact payments to Canada at the moment. Then we also have Swift ACH payments to United States. You can add your bank account and you would actually get the funds. Also, we have payments directly to banks in Nigeria. Interestingly, we are looking to add 2 more countries this month in North America. And yeah, if Mexico rings a bell, yeah, we'll be adding that very soon. And we're really excited for that. I think that's pretty much it from my end. I don't know if Phyllis wants to show you the payment on our side. Yeah, but either way works for me. Thank you. I'll just stop sharing now. Okay, Max.
Hey, Vahid, thanks for the demo. I saw like in the Canadian account, it was 0.005. Does that mean it's like micro cent, or how does can you explain the decimals for the Canadian account?
Oh yeah. So I think, as I said, I have a developer account, so I think there might be some weird things going on my accounts that might not happen for anybody else. So perhaps you could just ignore that.
Okay, but it's not like, because I was also wondering, maybe you're supporting paying micro, like
No.
for, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a minimum amount, which is 1 CAD.
Okay. Just checking, because that would also be cool with paying like, a fraction of a cent would be interesting. Okay, thank you.
That would be pranking people, right? Yes. I don't know what yeah, that makes sense, but yeah, that would just be like pranking people and stuff, I guess. Yeah, any other questions before I?
Yes, so I see GFam live and Malcolm have questions. So GFam, if you want to come unmute.
Sure. Thanks for the demo. It was really good. Were you demoing like a production version, or was that more of a sandbox?
Yeah, that was prod. Yeah, that was prod.
Okay.
And something interesting I could do is, if time permits us, I could actually share my screen again and send some people money via email, so you can know it's actually prod. If you don't mind, I could do that.
And so, like, are you ready for other people in the community to test?
Absolutely. You can download the app and test this. But of course, we have a KYC process, so you wouldn't be able to like do that immediately. So the KYC takes anywhere between 30 minutes to a day, depending on the volume of accounts we need to, because we have to avoid issues with compliance and all that. So we're really taking that very serious. Yeah, but a fun thing we could do is we could send some people money via their emails, just so you guys know it's prod. But I don't know where I can get emails to pay out to right now. I mean, there was a bit from to see.
We trust you. It's fine.
Also, okay, that really works. Thank you. All right, so I guess no freebies today. Yeah. All right, thank you. I'm going to stop sharing again now. Okay, and yeah, Phyllis, you can go on. I don't think the demo is done yet, is it?
No, it's not. Thank you so much, Fahid, for the demo. So moving ahead to our plans, we have plans to integrate direct Momo cash out, that is mobile money, to more African countries. So as you know, most African countries have people who rely on mobile wallets, and this is currently under integration. So we should be done by Q1. And also, as Fahid mentioned, we are currently integrating to offer local bank cash outs to Peru and Mexico. Currently, we have USD, we have US bank cash outs and Canada cash outs via Interac, but we're also expanding to Peru and Mexico. And finally, we'll also be offering virtual USD bank accounts for payment collection. And this is ideal for freelancers who will be using the Chimoney app.
Hold on.
Is your screen meant to be up, Phyllis?
Yeah.
Yeah, your screen is meant to be up, I guess.
Sorry, you guys can see my screen?
No.
No, we can't.
Okay. Let me pin this. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So we currently have under our ecosystem and partnerships, we've currently partnered with Finboy, Snake Nation, and BestPay, and this is with regards to offering multi-currency wallets that we offer and payment pointer integrations. So we have conversations that are underway, and hopefully we will have success stories of that soon. And also, during this phase 2 of our integration with Interledger, we really doubled down on our marketing efforts. So working on press releases, social media collaborations, features, and through this, we were able to have to reach around 250 million to 50 million plus in North America and in Africa. So we were featured in major fintech publications and newsletters and blogs as well. And in upcoming initiatives, so this is in Q2, we are planning to do external audits. So this is to ensure that all the integrations that we are doing are compliant and are also in line with security regulations. And another exciting plan that we have coming up ahead is the Interledger Infrastructure as a Service. And this will be mainly to allow organizations or companies that want to integrate with Interledger, but don't necessarily have the deep technical expertise to do so. So they'll be able to integrate with this, and depending with their choice of cloud infrastructure, whether it is AWS, Azure, or GCP. And also what we have in the pipeline is general availability for, this is to reduce the time to value for the people who are using our app, and also to remove the restrictions that we have by being more compliant and allowing more countries to be accepted, users from more countries to be accepted on the Chimoney app. And to wrap that up, if you want to see how you can integrate with the Chimoney API, please feel free to scan the QR code and check out our API docs if you want to integrate some of our Interledger services. And also if you want to partner with us on a marketing level or by using our API as well, or Chimoney app, please feel free to reach out at community.chimoney.io. And lastly, if you have any form of questions or inquiries with regards to the Chimoney app or while using our Chimoney API, please feel free to reach out us on support@chimoney.io. And to wrap it up, finally, we thank you so much for this time, and for Interledger for giving us this time to present our progress so far with the Interledger integration. And we now welcome any questions or feedback that you might have with regards to our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phyllis and Fahid, for this demo and presentation. I know that Malcolm has a question, so if you want to go ahead, and we'll go with Malcolm, and then we'll take Stephanie's question that's in the chat, and then Jeremiah.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Phyllis, for the presentation. Awesome demo. My question is around the cost. What does it cost to send $1? What do the costs look like? Thank you.
I'll hand that question over to Fahid. Fahid, please.
Okay, so are you referring to like Interledger payments? Or...
Yes.
To be honest, I'm not sure I have the answer right now. I don't think there's any real cost per se. I know that there's some very minute amount on the background, but at the moment, the way we've integrated things, I don't think there's any cost for the user at the moment. So if there are any cost for peer-to-peer Interledger transfers, it's mostly handled by Chimoney.
Okay.
Yeah, does that answer the question?
Yes, it does, but probably for, I don't know, to make it easier for a layman's person, if someone is sending money from, say, Canada to Uganda or Nigeria, ideally the $1, the cost will be negligible. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that if you're using Interledger QR codes and all that to send, there's no cost at the moment for the user. Whether you're sending $1,000 or $1, it doesn't matter. There's no cost. There were no fees when I paid out to Phyllis right now, so there's no cost.
So are there costs probably at the point of cashing out this money?
Okay. So where the cost comes in is, for example, let's say I sent Phyllis some money and she wants to cash it out to a bank or mobile money in Kenya. We put it explicitly there that there might be costs coming from the side of either a bank or her Momo provider, but we don't charge costs on the app at the moment. No.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. And Stephanie, if you're able to come off mute, you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Yes, thanks very much, Stephanie Perrin. My question is, you mentioned connecting with Interact. Now, Interact A doesn't let you connect for free, so there would be a connection cost somewhere. And B, if I've got a bank account and I have set this up on my bank account using Interact, I'm getting a fee, right? Depending on the account. And I'm wondering, of course, whether Interact is asking for a higher fee for this kind of transaction than they would with, say, a merchant terminal like we have in Canada. Thanks. In other words, where are the fees getting allocated? At the bank, at Interact, at some intermediary point? Obviously not in the software itself.
Hi, Fahid, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I was saying that the fees are being taken by Interact, but we have no part in the fee side of things. When you're sending the money, there's no fees from the app whatsoever. So maybe at the point of cashing out, right, depending on the bank charges, because different countries, there are regulations and all that, and different providers, Interact might have a fee for the amount you are receiving, but we don't have a fee for the amount we're sending out. We do not charge fees like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, indeed, that makes sense. But for instance, I had to open a US funds account with my bank to avoid getting absolutely gouged on currency exchanges. So if I'm sending money back and forth to Nigeria, for instance, I'm pretty sure they would take a high fee for that currency exchange if you're relying on that to happen at the connection point to the, no?
Yeah. So for our cash outs to Nigeria, which I could demo if you need to understand it properly, we do not have any fees. Actually, the amount you see on the app is the amount you get, because I actually use it myself, right? So if I have, let's say I have 50,000 Naira on the Chimoney app and I cash it out to Naira, I would actually get 50,000 Naira in my Nigerian bank account. And the reason why we can do that is because we work with partners like, go on.
But if you sent me 50,000 there, and I tried to cash that out in my bank in Ontario, Canada, surely I would get a huge currency conversion fee from my bank, right?
All right. If I sent, and this is why the app works, right? If I sent you 50,000 Naira on the app, you can basically convert it within the app and then cash out USD to USD.
Oh, okay. And where does that conversion take place? What?
Within the app. So we have a convert function within the app. I could show you if time permits us.
Yes,
okay,
I'll keep quiet now and let you guys carry on.
Should I go ahead or no?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So join. I'm just going to join with the other device again and share my screen. Okay, my screen should be up in about a few seconds. And I'm just going to go back to the app. Yeah, I think I need to log in. All right, so you can see we have this convert function. For example, I could just convert, let's see, I wanted to convert in Naira to dollar, and I have 2,000 Naira, USD. I have 2,000 Naira. As you can see, this is the fee. There's no fee, this is the rate, right? And I can just convert. Let's verify that. Conversion is done, and you would see that my USD wallet would get credited. And my Naira wallet is already debited, as you can see. I had about 2009 or something like that. And now my USD wallet has been credited. And as you can see, I converted the money, swapped currency, NGN to USD. What I can do now, which is your use case, is I can go to the bank cash out option and basically select USD to USD, for which there is no conversion going on. It's just a cash out, and I can add a recipient. But yeah, that's going to be a very long process. But yeah, I can just take this, which is Chimoney's account, and I can basically just cash out there. Maybe I can cash out $1. So proceed, confirm, and that's basically. So yeah, I think, does that answer your question?
Kind of, except I saw for a minute there a USA Mercury partner flash on the screen. Who's
So
that?
that's the account I'm sending to, as you can see, bank name. So I'm cashing out to a Mercury account.
Right. Okay. Who sets the currency exchange rates? How does that happen?
Yeah, so we have APIs. We have APIs
That's
that
how
we
I
use
get
for that.
cleaned but at the banks. They set the currency exchange. You know.
I mean, is there a way to avoid that at this point? Someone has to set the exchange rate, and we use some partners for that.
Who are the partners? I mean, that's important. I'm looking at it from a data protection point of view, and the partners are really important, particularly the domicile. Where are they? You know.
I actually can't answer that question because
Oh,
I don't have
okay.
that at the ready at the moment. Yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
that. Like,
I realize.
but I mean,
Thanks.
if you have more questions, absolutely, you can just reach out using one of the QR codes that Philly shared. And
Wonderful. Thank
definitely
you.
get back. Thank you. I think
All
my
right,
internet
thank
has
you.
gone off.
So Jeremiah, I know you had some questions or a question, so you can go ahead and come off mute.
Sure, yeah, thanks. A great presentation. Appreciate the demo. It's really great to see how far it's come since the last time we saw something. I have a few questions, but I'll start with the first one. And this came in from social media. Someone was wanting to know if deposits with Chimoney are directly insured by the CDIC or another insurer, whatever, I guess, a country.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, I know so. Yes, I know so. Yes. Yes. I think Uchi will have more information on that, but I'm sure of that. Yes.
Okay. So going back to the other question that's been previously asked. So typically, the World Bank has definitions for exchange rates. And so those are exchange rate margin. And that's the percentage difference between the market rate and the exchange rate actually being applied to the transaction. And then total cost, which is the fee charged to the sender plus the exchange rate margin. And so those are published publicly. Does Chimoney have any sort of like public reporting, I guess, at this point in terms of like what its either exchange rate margin and then like total cost fee structure would be?
At the moment, the answer is no, but that's a good feature to add. It'll probably be up in like a week or something.
Okay, yeah, that'd be really
I'm just
great.
going to note that down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it'd be also great to even submit that to the World Bank because they have a page that actually reports all the different providers in the cost structures there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. I would just writing that down. I'm going to look into that.
Cool. And I'm really curious about. I mean, as a new financial institution, we've heard a lot of other ones talk before about anti-money laundering and countering terrorist financing compliance being like a tough thing and challenge for them. I'm just curious what Chimoney is doing. Like how do you feel about that? How has that process been like? And what are you doing, I guess, beyond KYC to get up and running?
So yeah, it's a painful one to work with sometimes, but it's a necessary one, right? And yeah, to that effect, we have a very, very strict KYC process, and it's part of the reasons why we have not opened the app up to just anybody yet, right? Because you have to put all your necessary information. Then we also have about 2 partners we're working with who are on the compliance side of things, and at the moment we are really working on straightening out our compliance game. Because B2C is not a joke, right? We've been running B2B for years, and so far so good. We've been able to avoid any such issues. But as we're going into B2C, it's not been easy. That's how I'm going to say. We've had back and forth the compliance regulation, and if this has to be this way and that has to be that way to avoid this problem. And but we're working at it. And at the moment, we are working with partners on that. And that's why the app, people have complained a lot about the app not being available to everyone and anyone. But it's for compliance reasons, and we are working on it. So eventually, it will be available to everybody to work with.
Yeah, I guess maybe a future community call. I'd love to know if like you could even just like share that journey and like what has been involved in that, because like, I think a lot of us here have actually worked at banks and had to do that, and it'd be really interesting just to learn. That's
a good one. Yeah, I'm not really involved in that process, so I'll speak to Uche about that. But I'm just a product guy. I don't know much about this. Yeah.
Okay, so Aiden, I see your question in the chat. Can you come off of mute and elaborate on that a little bit more?
Sure. Hi. And I don't think we really need to take this comment now. It was just sort of something I was throwing out there, but just a little bit about sort of the fee transparency is, I think, going to be important, because I know I've seen like some of the marketing claims at the moment that you have around it, Chimoney being a very economical option for transferring funds, and that might be true, but I think that this needs to be a little more transparency around what the actual cost to the user is, including the fee that is embedded within that exchange rate. But that could just be a display issue and something that we can chat about another time. I don't want that to sound like a criticism.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I think I understand that. So we're a company coming from mostly being B2B. So we have a lot to learn, user behavior, the way people think about fees and all that, which I'm seeing firsthand here. So yeah, I think in terms of the transparency side of things and all that, we are certainly going to look into it. I mean, what Jeremiah talked about is something that we're going to implement, and we probably have it in one of his community calls soon. So somewhere where a user can see the actual fees for transactions from country A to country B, how much do they actually get, how much is the fees and all that. We work with B2B for the most part, so they don't really care about those details. So we never really thought that was a necessary thing to put at the forefront. That was usually more belonging in the business side of things. But yeah, I would definitely take that on board and work on it. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a few more minutes, so we can get in maybe a couple of more questions. Malcolm, I know you have another question, so go ahead and ask your question.
Thanks. Mine is more around your business model. I hope you're not going to spill company secrets. Are you using a pre-funded model? That's of course floated, having pre-funded accounts, or you're doing this through partnerships, especially for hard-to-reach areas in terms of the money disbursements? Thank you.
So I guess you're asking how we are able to send payments to different countries.
Yes, and what's the turnaround time? Is it within 5 minutes, 30?
Yeah, okay, so for Nigeria, for example, the turnaround time is less than a minute. For places like Kenya, it might take less than 12 hours. Sometimes it might take an hour. For the US, for example, it takes, I think, a day. And so it's not a consistent thing because, as you know, international payments are quite difficult sometimes. But we have some countries where we are really strong and certainly take a day, and other countries where the partners we use take a day or two. So yeah, I think that answers the question. So it depends. It depends on the recipient country and how their payment system works.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and Stephanie, I know you have another question, so this will be the last one, and then we'll wrap up for today.
Thanks very much. And I just wanted to echo what Jeremiah was saying about possibly another session where we talk a little bit about the KYC. It's a really, really hard problem. I have been going through all of the conference recordings, and if we're talking about serving the underbanked, they don't have identity verification in most cases. And I did go to the ID for Africa conference one time to see what they were doing in terms of facial recognition, which of course raises huge data protection issues, biometrics, particularly in the current environment that we're living in North America. The ability for people to protect their identity, if they're human rights workers, if they are women running I don't know, a marketing co-op in a village where they're sharing one phone between 20 women, how are you going to identify those separate accounts? It's a really hard problem. So I don't want to push you into discussing how you're managing it, but it's a topic that really merits some exploration. It's a hard one. Thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree 100%, and that's why I mentioned earlier that we're coming from the B2B side, where our KYC is usually with a couple people, and then we are in this pool now where we have like 1 million people to KYC. And how do you know who is using stolen details or stolen stolen identity details or a fake ID or something? And that's why I work with partners to try and navigate the waters a bit. But I agree, it's a hard problem, it's a big problem. Well, it's a necessary one, to avoid maybe your app being used for things like terrorism and all that. So yeah, we are working on that, but I don't have much on that side. I'm more on the compliance side of things. So, but yeah, I will speak with the team to see sometime we can have that conversation and have a good discussion about that.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this great session and demo. A lot of great information, and I'm sure we'll have more questions and conversation that come from this, and to do an additional demo and have a conversation in the coming months. And also we invite everyone, if you're on here, if you have any share outs, like any demos, updates, or milestones of projects that you're working on in the Interledger ecosystem, please feel free to reach out to us through Slack. In the community notes, you can make notes down there, and also feel free to complete our survey feedback form. So if there's anything else that you want to hear about, any other discussions, you can also submit the form, and that way we can provide more information and make this community calls more impactful for you all. And so thank you all again for joining today, and we'll see you all next month. All righty. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.